Hello my dear guests, subscribers and everyone who is with
Channel
me for
today.
a month. Galina Pregrees with you shares from such a hat which she came up with super easy, super simple. Why beanie? Because not Susin hat. Here the fields are so gentle a little. Rap who watched my video review previous videos too. Believed and so look here bottom. Interesting. This is so smooth and absolutely and very simple knitting. Absolutely simple and on my channel, and I recommend to see a lot of products. Hats, swimwear, compu. Thanks. Food for himself or for himself, he will find everything very easy and simple to knit. Haunt that moment. Knitting where absolutely everything should turn out so, my dears. This is a cap. Ready. Here I have a preparation for the following. This yarn is begonia, this is begonia, this begonia dusty rose, this is the beauty I get. Now I will take the yarn. Begonias in the same way, all her characteristics, so that everyone can see. I hope clearly I'm sure. So let's get started. Bottom. It's very simple, it's very easy, and most. The main thing is a great desire to connect and so on. Amigurumi rings, so repeat yarn. Begonia. Pull the thread like this. I have a 225 hook. You see dunk end. First went. Dear ones who knit even for a month. Eyelets. Amigurumi ring. And with you Galina despise share with you. What I do, I knit 1 2 3 4 yarn over. Ring column single crochet air. Column with 1 crochet air. Single crochet column air, and there should be such columns considering here. Lifting loops 1 2 3 for required in 8. (2468) and tighten the ring is ready. Air loop, here is air. Eyelet end. 12-inch shout join 1 2 3 and 4 yarn over. Or double crochet single crochet. Air and next column with 1 crochet air again under. Air and column side by side. Column with 1 crochet air still. Divorce under or between posts. Air and column air and so on until the end of the row. In this row should be 16 columns and again 123 third. Join loop, sit down, news 1 2. Three and 4 tighten the ring in this row. Was 16 and I continue. And increase again through here. Single crochet air now. I skip a column and it's as if in. This tick is exactly the same as a column with one double crochet air and column of the previous. Rows of air again under the cage or air between columns. Here is a second air and column. Stripes appear like this. Expansion and nice and easy and simple. I continue once again. I will show the air. A loop here between the columns, a column with double crochet air following between columns. Air in the third column above the column. Air and so on until the end of the row. In this row there are 24 columns in the same way. I join. Third loop 1, 2, 3, 4 and now here is a column under the loop. Air under the second loop, air. And under the third loop or in a tick. Airy and only now in a column. Air once again, that is, you see, yes, and now for lifting 1, 2, 3 and for column 1. Aerial column, second column. Checkered air, third column. Airy and only now here is a column. So we knit to the end of the row. This row to the end here I have 32 columns again, air and 12 third joined 1, 2, 3, 4 and just continue to expand here. Between the columns a column with 1 crochet. Air between the second columns. Air between these 3 columns. Through air and between the fourth columns double crochet air and just now, air column again between the columns. You see, let's count the lifting loops. 1, 2, 3, 4 and stacked. Agent air 2, air 3. Air. Pushed even closer to the world so that clearly visible, and here you tick. Air and again a column. The column itself is aerial and I repeat in cell. Air into the second cell, air. Here is the third cell of the fourth air. You see an air cell and a column at got me here practically looming. Already these ticked bones are practically visible. Visible from a distance, visible and invisible. This is what it looks like. Keep knitting. So in a circle I finished this. Row and join in the same way. Here it is an air loop and 12. Third join 1, 2, 3 and 4. I continue my knitting in the same way between columns 1 column air second. Aerial column. Third column aerial is all under cell, or under the previous air loop. 4 and here is a tick in a tick. Air and then in a column immediately and aerial one more time. I'll show you one. Two. 3, 4 air tick aerial and then immediately a column of air and so knit to end of row. I finished another row and exactly the same one. 2, 3 joining. I hope you already the principle of expansion understood or understand. 4 loops. The next row in the same way between cells. 1 column aerial second column. Aerial. 3 air. 4 air 5 air and tick. Six air and already a column. Let me continue like this. Extend 123 from lifting loop 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and stack one more time. I show the cell air 2 in. Check it air 3 air 4. Air 5. Air and 6. Air end. Column. I already have this beauty. So expand until you here will be the bottom for your size. This hat is planned for. I have a baby here 13 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. She's an adult now. I'll take a look. It's on an adult head. You expand it. The bottom of the average it is always plus minus 15. 16 centimeters is a little less. See yes from adults. There is no ruler at hand, but it looks like it will. For an adult it should be 16 in any hat you see me on an adult channel. Here 16 centimeters if very voluminous. Yarn 15-14 if very thin, possibly even out of 17. This is what concerns the hat caps exactly. this option and this row I on my own to knit to the end as. I think the principle is the extension of the very. The bottom of the hat is already clear to you, but with you, Galena with Cressy, I share with you that. Do I continue this row I finish on my own and don't. Hurry up, finished another row C. What do the bottom 1 second look like and now I'm moving to the height of the hat then. Available on a straight line. To the height of my own hats I have this. Now. Hat, I named it that because. No wide margins here if you want. Add and there will be a hat, so 1 2 3 4. I also leave the loops without. All kinds of changes, knit in a circle under each cell, columns with 1 crochet or double crochet through an air loop. Double crochet, aerial double crochet, air double crochet, air, and no more extensions. I knit under each previous air column with 1 crochet in a tick in the same way here as a column with double crochet, and continue to knit further in a circle. Single crochet posts. The most important thing is not to forget the air. The second check mark under the check mark of the air and further into the cell, that is, each. Check the edge itself. Wraps C yes to the height. My dears, in the overview video I promised. So far I see the grid change more. There are none anywhere until I see the height. I'll tell you what made me go. I learn a lot, I don't have much. Didn't work out very many. And nothing is perfect yet. I try and I think that I have everything. It's cool to see that I show what I am. How do I share what I do and think? That against the background of so many on my channel. Accessible, visible, clear, so my dear. I want to have less water so that quality, and there was a video to good end. Available to everyone. I was able to show everything. First started writing. Write down all your ideas. Plan your video. But still it was not enough. Just, well, I wrote, well, yes, in vain. Something is wrong, but my dear. When I realized that it should be not only what I can knit or show, when I realized that my video must be professional. Other haters, of course, all health. If not for them, perhaps less stimulation would be, but still not less. Thanks to everyone who is with me, who someone is hard with me. Turns out I'm already distracted because I come to the end of the row and I decided all the same. Try to master these basics. I come to the end of the row and you see here at I have one check mark, I have it. Skip at the end of the row in order to. Then my cell was exactly in 1 2 3. Here I join, you see everything is smooth. Exactly a vicious circle, that is, I went cool if I knit this one. Post is so little secrets if I knit another one here. She will mow me like that, that's why I. Here we just knit the air and I join, then the columns are even. You see all the cells are the same, 1 2 3 4, and continue knitting here. Here from the first column so as not to painted your canvas and threw everything under. I knit the mesh in the same way in a circle. Under the mesh. The second row can be a straight web either. The height of the cap, and I will continue the story. In general, I was looking for a lot. And found a school. Maxim Rogovtseva. This is a famous YouTuber. I didn't even think. It came that there are very, very many important points are in the presentation of what you are. You know what you can just It's yours personally. And here is the filing, but it is such that's how. Least known proverb. Ukrainian. Yumila didn't know how to serve this vapcha. That's it for them. That's the topic I had then. I know how to knit. I know how to do it. But how to file without water, as it turns out. In view, so my dears. In the course of knitting, I share with you that I do and exactly where I study. Reference who, of course there are ideal. Filing. Link under these videos will be on the school. Without YouTubers, it turns out there is the most very many very famous bloggers like Work Properly, How to Work Properly, Create the Right Light in general. So many questions. And you can imagine the answers. I have been studying for more than a month, so I decided to share you later. What, but I think it's very important. I know a lot of knitting and a lot of want their channels, so it's worth it. Is really expensive because principle. Given that nowhere is such a miracle. Push the buttons and here's your happiness. So you have to work, and besides, I had to work and study honestly. I would highly recommend if you want to shoot. If you want, yes, there is not only everything is obtained by knitting. Direction, there is such a grasp of knowledge. God forbid everything changes every day. Well, God forbid, at least what is possible, well, what? But I'm really 100% sure. It will be so for you. Useful. I even find it difficult to explain how useful it all became for me. Understand, this is the most important thing here. This is exactly what you know how to fall, and so finishing the second row in the same way. See, yes, the last column seemed I would knit it in a net, but I don't. I will knit here and immediately air. I leave the last one and 12 in the third one for so that the hat is even. You see, yes, the cell is sort of like that, but due to the fact that this close it's a little farther she's lost. The cell then becomes the same, but your canvas does not mow in one direction. I hope this is important though. 12. 4N in the same way, continuing to knit along. Circle and tell therefore my dear. I hope everything is clear here. About the school which makes me crazy. I liked it, maybe not even. I tell the school. Well, what's the delight in my delight in? In general, somehow lame, describe like this school everything is there. Everything is so good that you don't imagine but try recommend. Highly recommend, it makes a big difference. Outlook and point of view. In principle, absolutely everything that has some connection with YouTube, Instagram and general internet resources. I will independently knit the height of this hat. This doll hat is here. Orange for mom, this for girls. And this is for the doll, so I will knit the height. Several rows and meet me already in the harness at school. There will be a link under this video and so mine. Dear, I knitted the height of this hat. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and an adult hat has 11 rows. You can adjust the height of the hat according to your needs. Not ahead, and so I have the last row and switch to edge binding. I knit the edge of the edge sides to be nice here. Eversion. On this side here is a hat and gels and the edge rises here. I am now this. I'll show. Here's the last row of the grid. I join the third loop and now after that I knit an ace height. I have dialed, I knit me 43. Column 1 a meta, now another 4, 2, 3, 4. Knackered exactly the same under the cell, but attention from her through the loop 2 and 3, 1. The column is high now above the column 1, 2, 3. Under the cage half together. Half above the previous column. Half together, it's just different. Knitting columns with 1 crochet. Above the column half together. Under the cell or in the cell above the column. I hope we show it clearly and confidently. Those who want to roll up such hats. So we knit the first row to the end of the row. I finished the strapping in 12 in the third for sure. I also join. What do I do next? 1 loop and immediately throwing on. I want it to be very, very visible. See here as if the cells of she succeeded, but due to the fact that the beginning the row was visible throwing in here. I throw a half column cell and under. I throw a half column loop under. I throw the next half column and so on. Throughout the row, this is the second row of strapping with. Front side so far nothing, I'm nowhere. Turn over. Under each loop of the previous row. We knit such semicolons. Showing close, showing available in one video for everyone. Could imagine children, granddaughter to anyone on order. Tie such hats, summer no one. Cancel the summer ahead and on the strapping will be another row but with some secret A. This one I tie myself so. I'm ending this series the same way. Last loop and join there. Day 1 ere do so I leveled. Fully knitting. Now 1 2 3 and look carefully that I get it. The beanie is actually for the kid either. For fish. I don't know, maybe it's even for baby, I don't know. We didn't say it was for doll, are I? Violently true, or how does not know for adult cap? C yes I tuck the edges of the front loop at me here, but knitting everything absolutely made from the front side only by myself. Podvorochka here I knitted from this sides here on my face, turned out last row wrong side when raised this beautifully, and so here I make the last rows of this hat. 3 lifting loops, turn and see with wrong side. For both loops the usual column 1 2 3 4. Five and 6. Seven column, exactly the same column, 1 2 3 peaks. And in the same column another column. Again I knit in a row 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Column with 1 crochet 1 2 3 loops. For the peak of the peak in here is another column. Now look here, I have a peak in these. The bars look different than here. The secret is here, then I will show how I am now. Knitted optics 1 and I have a peak. Knitted like this 123. Lifted the loop, stretched and stretched into this one in the same way, 1 more column and I'm practically not here this whole See also here she is small but. The second time I knitted 1, 2, 3. Lifted the loops and threw it out. I stretch, I knit, and here is another one. Double crochet. See how wide that's interesting. I got the tick tick for sure. Just like this hat has a huge. The difference is how to pull a pike. I'll show you one more time. Info. (34) 5 and 6 the 7th column with 1 crochet 1. 2, 3 for the peak. This is how I knit a spade. And here is another column and continue. Knitting sew in a circle comment. I won't talk about school anymore. I hope everything is clear with this. See what ticks turn out ticks of the spike. Interesting, beautiful, unusual, and now. School Bali YouTuber father himself. Maxim Rogovtseva, very interesting school. I study myself. But so far I understand that the result is not a single day to study is necessary all the time under. This video will be a link, those who wish can follow the link and go directly to the school. Maxim Rogovtseva, so very good. YouTubers are very famous and very. Absolutely everything falls down. How to work with video from the channel. In general, a lot of interesting things. So my dears, recommend to those who wish. Who not only knit for pleasure but want something more, please come under this video and Galina with you when I play. I share with you what I do and I am finishing such an interesting hat. Super simple, which I thought a summer hat might be for children as well as for adults. I finish my video on tying the edge and so last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and here start. Memory row up I lifting eyelets, see left as checkbox. What I'm doing now is not here 6. And here I am knitting the 7th under it. I have the cell ready and adding. Only 1, 2, 3 I knit here. Peak lifting the loops so. Pull the loop tight. And everything is ready, absolutely everything is the same. All over the district, all over the edge, you see how interesting, and this is the only row that I knitted a thread from the wrong side. I cut and hide, so hide the thread on. My channel has separate master classes. I hide and absolutely differently in. Basically the needle is the wrong side. I will sew the thread again, repeat the places separately, and even in the video how I hide strings of such cases and voila hat. Ready, see, yes, just like Adult here she is. This is an adult, this is a small one, here is the edge, turn it up and he's handsome. Just the same here the edge. I turn the size and he is beautiful then. There is only one row. Changes the product itself in general like this. Honey, I got it, my dear me. I hope I was helpful, I think I'm not. Without even thinking, I'm sure that very many loved my baby hat. For adults, for any person can be. Knit such a hat ±4. Large adult size in general about 2. Hankin begonias. I'm small, well, it's quite small. Either for an infant if for a child there. 35 years a skein of yarn will leave both that and that. I crocheted 225. I hope everything very accessible, everything is very intelligible. Totally doggy from start to finish in one master class, and I think it's more. How? Decided not to shoot several options, but also school best YouTuber Saturdays under this video link, wishing to go and subscribe at all, very very important. For me anyway, this one moment of learning, there is so much if it really study it. I still choose the words because that I really like him, they're madly interesting, very very cool and all. Very simple, albeit very rich people. Rich in their knowledge and capabilities. Dear my cool mood, smooth eyelets. We knit together with you all the time. Galena Pregrees will definitely work with you. All even stitches.